probably know what's about to happen, right? 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a go. And with 2 of the ultimate healing items in the game in my inventory, you know what? Maybe we should go do a couple other things while also working on the project. It was going to be a big build regardless, so let's do something to spice it up. Why not a raid? Defeating this would get me Totems of Undying and make my hardcore world that much more secure, which was a really good call with some upcoming risks. So, let's head over to a savannah village, post up on the top of a hill, load up our bow, and prepare for a fight. A raid is one of the most dangerous things you can do in Minecraft if you're not prepared for it. But if you know what you're doing, the battle can be managed and victory can be easily obtained. What I had set up for myself in an unreachable elevated position, being able to just snipe down with arrow after arrow after arrow, meant that this was more of the latter, not the former. So after a brief skirmish with a few of the pillagers, I was able to claim my prize, 3 Totems of Undying, one of which I stored down in the Cave of Wonders right next to my first set of Elytra wings, and the rest I kept in my inventory for some extra lives while I continued on my build in the Nether Monument. When I returned to the storage room, however, the unfinished ceiling just rang out to me as incomplete. With a big mega build halfway across the world already figured out, I was neglecting things here at home, so it was time to get started on that. And it was nice to return to the more natural building elements compared to the harsh reds, blacks, and browns of the Nether Monument to finish this up. And it came out looking beautiful. Every time I return back to the base now, this is just an excellent place to go to. But with one build project done, it was time for more progress. So back to the Nether Monument I went. The whole theme of this build is corrupting an ocean monument into its most hellish self, which meant replacing almost all of the blocks with nether brick or blackstone. While working on the front, I integrated some red nether brick as well, and some gold blocks, since gold is the currency of the nether. And all of that gold reminded me that I needed to go someplace very specific and somewhat traumatic for some gilded blackstone. So it was time to pop off to the nether to go raid a bastion. Thankfully, though, I've learned from my mistakes, and I can both see the piglin brutes and am smart enough to stay far away from them, sniping everything that I could from a high perch, much like I did with the raid. After a tense few Minecrafting days, collecting all of the resources I needed from the bastion, I returned back to the monument and started constructing the actual pyramid top of the base, switching out for blackstone and building a bedroom on the interior. This was starting to look like how I wanted it to go, but the work was still so far from done, and the main thing I needed to do was draining. Lots and lots of draining. And the project started to become a little draining, doing it repeatedly on stream, so I worked a little bit in between streams and was able to knock out a large chunk of it while just putting on my favorite podcast. Critical Role, I was basically watching the finale while doing this. In order to make my tools a little bit quicker to repair while doing all of this digging and all of this mining of netherrack, I built a little quick enderman farm in the end that I could get as much experience as possible while not having to worry too much. It's not perfect, it's not a one-hit kill, it will get replaced, but it is something to get me started. But as we rolled over into 1.17 and all of the new blocks, this plan was starting to hit an actual point of completion. I'm integrating deep slate a lot into the build. I'm integrating a lot of deep slate into the build in different places to just bring a new texture for the best version of the nether. And upon discovering this quintuple ravine just crisscrossing over each other with axolotls and glow squids swimming inside, and a geode that I found at one point, this was just a good way for me to crash course into all of 1.17 before getting back to work. I also needed dripstone, because farming lava with dripstone became possible in this version, and without that, there was no way this nether monument was ever going to get done. If I were to talk about every detail of this build, this video would easily be about 4 hours long. It's been about 2 months in real time in just working on this single project.